Hello students, welcome you all for the course of MBA Semester 3 Human Relations and Legal Framework. Today is our lecture number 18 and the topic of our today's discussion is domestic inquiry and disciplinary action. So the objective of our today's session is to help to understand the concept of domestic inquiry and its procedure with respect to take some disciplinary action against the employee those who have conducted any sort of indiscipline or misconduct. So the contents of our today's session are domestic inquiry, the basic definition, when to hold the domestic inquiry, what is an inquiry officer, procedure and conduct of domestic inquiry, compliance with rules, process of holding the domestic inquiries, suspension pending inquiries, those who have been suspended particularly, charge sheet and inquiry, notice of inquiry, disciplinary action, procedure for disciplinary action, and disciplinary action would be taken. So what basically a domestic inquiry means, okay? So any particular employee, those who have committed any sort of offense, particularly in the form of indiscipline or misconduct by means of any particular workman or an employee, okay, wherever the management of the organization has been in a process to take some action by means of conducting some particular form of inquiry by an employer, okay, and try to take some to take some action against that particular employee, okay, internally within an organization. The word domestic has been used, okay, to been purely internal matter. It is a purely an internal matter of the organization over here, and that is called as what? Domestic inquiry. Generally, to take or to conduct any domestic inquiry, okay, that is generally based on the principle of natural justice and fair play. According to our Constitution of India, some sort of provision has been made under which, okay, so as to take some necessary action against the delinquent employee. So what is that natural justice and fair play with respect to our constitution? Every person must have a reasonable notice of the case he has to meet if his civil rights are affected. Okay, there should be some reasonable amount of notice to be sent to that particular employee. Okay, every person must have an opportunity to be heard to defend himself. Okay, every person has a right to defend himself. Okay, the case must be heard by the impartial tribunal. Okay, the there are different authorities under which, okay, if the issue could not be resolved, then the case would be transferred to the tribunal. Okay, the authority must act fairly and reasonably, not arbitrarily. Okay, whatever form of authorities are being supposed to be there under the domestic inquiry, so there should be a fair judgment by them. If you are talking about our Constitution of India, according to Article 311, okay, that provides that no person who is a member of civil service of the Union or all India services or civil service of the state hold civil post under the Union or state shall be dismissed or removed or reduced in rank by an authority subordinate so that by which he is appointed. So there has been already a provision which has been made in the Constitution of India, okay, those who are working under the central and state government, okay, they will be dismissed or removed or reduced in rank, okay, according to whatever provisions here has been made under their standing orders. Further, the Article 311 and subsection 2 provides that, okay, with reference to this person above mentioned, there shall be no person can be dismissed or removed or reduced in rank unless, okay, so one cannot directly remove these above persons, okay, and also in some private sector also. subject to that some minimum conditions with respect to the enquiries need to be conducted. So an inquiry must be held, okay, prior to the dismissal, removal or reducing in rank of that particular employee. In that inquiry he is informed for whatever form of charges has been implemented on that particular employee. The person is given the opportunity to defend himself. Also some sort of provision has been made wherever the employee can defend himself. So all these conditions has been specified in our Constitution of India, and there are two acts. Okay, first one is called as Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 and Industrial Dispute Act 1947. So some provisions has been made, okay, with respect to the conducting the domestic inquiry against some particular employee who has committed any sort of indiscipline or misconduct. Particularly in case of Industrial Dispute Act, okay, that provide the procedure for conducting the domestic inquiries, okay, and to initiate an action by means of taking deciding an award, okay, settlement of award. Now when to hold these form of domestic inquiries, particularly whenever any sort of employee, okay, who has committed any sort of misconduct, okay, those who are being accused of misconduct, against which, okay, domestic inquiries can be conducted, okay, and it should be in accordance with the natural justice which has been specified in the Constitution of India, okay, and the provision has been also mentioned, okay, that what form of domestic inquiries and action would be taken against them, okay, that should be also mentioned in the standing order, okay. So after conducting any sort of domestic inquiry, particularly with respect to that delinquent employee, okay, the employer has to impose some sort of penalty, okay, or one can terminate the service of that particular employee who has committed any misconduct or indiscipline. So in order to avoid a discord between the employer and the workman, it is essential that both the employers and workers know the rights and duties of employee itself as well as the employer itself, okay, responsibilities, obligations laid down in the industrial law. So whatever form of industrial laws or labor laws are supposed to be there, so each and everybody has to respect the rights, duties, obligations of employees also and as well as the employer. Now when we are talking about when shall we should have to conduct some sort of inquiries, particularly, okay, in case of the abandonment of the service, if the service of the employee has been dismissed, okay, or they are being suspended, okay, the employer has to give the notice to the workman and they can conduct some sort of inquiries with respect to the abandonment of that particular employee. Now under the system of that domestic inquiry, okay, there should not be any disparity or inequality among the employees and the employer. So whoever exactly the payment, whoever exactly the employee or the management of the organization, okay, and their legal practitioners, okay, these legal practitioners will be treated appropriately, okay, particularly during the departmental inquiries which is need to be conducted, okay, and they will be provide same rate of remuneration to them, okay, to these legal practitioners. Even when the facts are indisputable or when the facts are admitted by the workman employee, okay, an inquiry is required, okay, any sort of dispute that can be identified well by the management of the organization and try to negotiate it with that particular employee. An inquiry, if it required, there should be conduct some domestic inquiry, okay, an inquiry in condition precedent for inserting the penalty of termination of service. If it requires to terminate the employee services, okay, then the action would be taken against them, okay, in the form of suspension or dismissal. Even if the employer makes a plea that allegations and charges has made against the employee have been admitted or even the inquiry is necessary, then thus the legal maxim right to hear the party, okay. So whichever party has been supposed to be there, either the management and or the labor, okay, if whatever form of allegations or charges has been made, okay, either against that particular employee or if it has been admitted, okay, once we came to know whatever form of misconduct that the particular employee has committed, then inquiry is essential, okay, and there is an essential criteria, whatever kind of things has been supposed to be there, okay, the maximum right to be heard by the party. means it is to be need to be considered who has been suffering that form of misconduct due to misconduct or any indiscipline. So in no manner whatsoever, okay, does the employer get the upper hand in any situation, and domestic inquiry is the purpose of serving the justice. So here at plant level, okay, the necessary committees has been formed, okay, under which they try to provide the justice to that particular employee, and it is internally communicated to that particular person, okay, whether he want to sustain on the job by means of using some form of imposition on the job, or if it is a very serious misconduct or indiscipline, in that case, okay, their job would be terminated. To conduct any sort of inquiry, there is one person that is called as inquiry officer. The inquiry officer shall have to conduct the inquiry in a very effective way, okay, by means of without any biasness, okay. They need to conduct the inquiry and submit the reports to the higher management at the plant level. So the inquiry manager, they will finish that reports, and along with the disciplinary procedure, okay, and communicate to the respective authority, okay, whatever form of actions or punishment that they need to impose on that particular employee. Okay, the delinquent employee is entitled a copy of the same and has allowed to make the representation against it. If the charges which are being imposed on that particular employee, okay, if the employee has not been justified, okay, or they are not agreeable with respect to whatever form of misconduct, so they can challenge that particular form of proceeding, okay, and talk with the management of the organization. If the report is not duly furnished as above mentioned, okay, then it shall be against the principle of national justice and shall be liable to be challenged. Okay, if the report which has not been prepared by the inquiry officer, okay, according to whatever form of criteria which has been mentioned, so it is against the natural justice and it is liable to be challenged in the labor court as well as tribunals also. Now, what are the procedure and conduct of the domestic inquiry? Okay, once we are talking about the general principle of natural justice need to be followed along with the honesty over here. So first of all, okay, we came to know what form of employee who has committed any sort of misconduct or any indiscipline has been there. So there is a complaint. The first process is what complaint would be there. Then at plant level, the body has been set up, okay, along with the inquiry officer, and that is called as preliminary inquiries can be conducted. Okay, after which what a charge sheet has been filed against that particular employee and some charges are being imposed on that particular employee. Then the appointment of inquiry officer would be there. Okay, a particular person has been appointed as an inquiry officer from that particular organization. Okay, uh, uh, during that particular period of time, okay, maybe there will be a possibility that the employee could be get suspended, so there will be a suspension pending inquiries would be also there. Okay, so that suspension pending inquiries that can be also conducted with the help of that inquiry officer also, okay, if there is a suspension of the employee. Notice of the inquiry, that with respect to whatever form of domestic inquiries has been conducted, its notice to respect to employee has been sent, okay, within the appropriate period of time. Further, employee hearing would be there. So whatever form of charges has been imposed on that particular employee, okay, it is quite necessary to hear the in due respect, okay, we should have to conduct the hearing of that particular employee. Then examination of the witnesses, okay, it is quite necessary to verify, okay, whatever form of misconduct has been supposed to be conducted by that particular employee, okay, we need to verify along with the witnesses, okay, some authentication would be there. And finally the report would be get prepared by the inquiry officer and need to be submitted to the appropriate authorities. So in general, this is a very simple procedure which can be conducted by the inquiry officer, okay, and whatever form of organizational personnel are being there, okay, they are conducting this form of inquiry without any bias. In the absence of any statutory provision, the domestic inquiry need not to be conformed to all the requirements of the judicial processing. They, however, must satisfy the essential of principle of natural justice. It doesn't mean that in every case there will be a possibility of domestic inquiry. Okay, some sort of natural justice need to be followed according to the Constitution of India, and just to conduct some simple proceedings over there if there is no serious misconduct. Okay, that has been already communicated, okay, by the government of India. Then compliance with the rules. Okay, now when we are talking about how does that we are going to conduct that particular domestic inquiry, so at plant level would be the committee will be get decided and inquiry officers are being appointed. Okay, so they will look into the matter very seriously and they are preparing this report. So in holding the inquiry, standing order in the industrial employment should be followed. So whatever form of terms and conditions of the employment which are mentioned in the standing order, okay, that are generally followed, okay, and identified, okay, whether these rules and regulation or terms and condition of service has been followed by that particular employee or not. In holding the inquiry, statutory rules framed for the purpose should also be followed. Okay, along with some standing order, there will be some other statutory rules and regulations will be there that should be followed at the plant level, that should be also considered. Okay, an inquiry must be conducted by an authorized person. Okay, these authorized persons are being well selected from the organization, those who are unbiased with respect to the employee as well as the employer. Now, what is the process of holding the domestic inquiry? Okay, in what way generally we are conducting these domestic inquiries? So at plant level, we came to know, okay, the preliminary inquiries or preliminary investigation has been conducted. If it has been identified whatever form of misconduct or indiscipline, this is a very serious, okay, it is in the serious form, then and then only its charge sheet has been filed. Once the charge sheet has been filed, okay, the other respective stages will be followed, and finally some sort of punishment would be taken against that particular employee in the form of dismissal or suspension of that particular employee. So this is also called as a disciplinary inquiry, okay, which has been conducted at plant level if the employee has committed any sort of indiscipline or misconduct. Okay, so first of all there is a preliminary investigation and other stages are followed in this way. Okay, in the first stage, okay, we are issuing issue and service a charge sheet calling upon the employee to submit an explanation. So at first instance the charge sheet will be filed and we will ask the explanation of that particular employee, those who has committed the misconduct. Consideration of the explanation, whatever explanation has been given by that particular delinquent employee, okay, we are going to consider that explanation, okay, for further approval. We are giving a notice of the inquiry into the in charge in case of any unsatisfactory explanation. If the authorities are not satisfied with the explanation given by that delinquent employee, okay, then further notices has been given to them and the inquiry would start further. Suspension with pay, with or without pay, or pending inquiry if needed. Okay, if the authorities are being has been identified the misconduct has been a serious misconduct or serious indiscipline, okay, they will take the action as immediately as possible. It is in the form of suspension of the job or services with respect to that particular employee, either with pay or without pay. Okay, that should be get decided by the respective authority. Inquiry into the charge. Okay, if we require some further investigation, okay, that further investigation need to be conducted. Okay, inquiry into the charge, deciding as to who should conduct that particular inquiry further, deciding that how to proceed. So whatever form of explanation has been made by that particular employee, if the employee has not been satisfied with the decision of suspension, okay, in that case, okay, how to proceed that particular case, that is need to be decided. Deciding about the order of examining the witnesses. If suppose there are some witnesses with respect to their that particular misconduct, how does that misconduct has been examined with respect to that witnesses, okay, that is need to be decided. Recording of the finding with respect to whatever form of witnesses has been supposed to be there by an inquiry officer. So here the inquiry officer investigate further and record their findings by means of examining the witnesses. Okay, finally the decision would be taken in the form of punishment if it requires. Okay, If the misconduct has been seriously committed by that particular employee, so there will be a punishment, okay, and that punishment would be in the form of suspension or dismissal of that particular employee. And whatever decision has been taken by that inquiry officer, it is need to be communicated in the form of punishment to the respective authority as well as the employee of that particular delinquent employee. So in this way the process with respect to holding the domestic inquiries has been conducted. Now suspension of pending inquiry. If any of the inquiries who has been suspended, okay, and is investigation is under the process, the workman who has committed any major misconduct, okay, and may be placed under the suspension, some different procedure has been laid down particularly for suspension pending inquiries. So workman under the suspension shall not leave the town during the period of suspension without prior permission of the manager. So whoever employee, those who have been suspended and committed some serious offences or suppose say misconduct, okay, serious misconduct, in that case they could not leave the town, okay, without prior permission of the manager. Workmen who have been placed under the suspension pending inquiry shall be entitled during the period of such suspension to subsistence allowances in the following manner. Okay. Now those who have been suspended employees, those who have committed a serious misconduct, okay, they will get a subsistence allowances. But in what way that they will get a subsistence allowances, that we were already discussed earlier. Okay, from the date of suspension till the date he replies to the charge sheet is received by the manager. Okay, he will not receive any form of compensation or any sort of subsistence allowances. Okay, till the date he replies to the charge sheet he received by the manager. Okay, means from filing the charge sheet, okay, filing the charge sheet till the manager has been received his explanation. Now from the first 30 days of the date of receipt, okay, of the reply of the charge sheet, okay, 50% of normal wages and dearness allowances will be paid as a subsistence allowances to the delinquent employee. Okay, so from first 30 days, okay, he will get the 50% of normal wages along with dearness allowances. From the next 30 days at the rate of 60% of normal wages and dearness allowances. Now from 91st day onwards, okay, he will receive 75% of normal wages and dearness allowances. Okay, whatever the case may be, that should be get decided by that manager. Okay, how much amount of wages will be paid to the subsistence allowances. So if any employee who has been suspended, okay, but its inquiry has been conducted. So during the inquiry, it does not mean that the employee will not receive any sort of wages. If the employee is on the payroll, okay, he must be entitled to receive the wages from the employer. But there is a criteria, and that criteria need to be followed by the employer. The next one is called as charge sheet and the inquiry. Now once the employee has committed any sort of misconduct, so first of all his charge sheet has been prepared. Okay, a workman against the wage misconduct is alleged and placed under the suspension shall be served with a charge sheet and within a week from the date of suspension. If it has been decided that the employee has committed the serious misconduct and some serious form of indiscipline has been made, okay, by that particular employee, so he will be immediately sometimes suspended, okay, and its charge sheet has been filed. The charge sheet should be specific and conducting all the details, okay, with respect to the date and time and place of the incident also, that should be mentioned on the charge sheet. When the misconduct depends, okay, when the misconduct depends on the offending language, okay, the actual word should be specified in the charge sheet also. Okay, if somebody has been abusing any particular employee, so what form of word that particular delinquent employee has been used, okay, that should be also mentioned in the charge sheet also. The workman shall call upon to submit the explanation within the 48 hours, okay, once the charge sheet has been filed, and that can be extended for 6 days for sufficient reason on the request in writing from the workman concerned. Whatever form of misconduct has been committed, okay, that has been notified by the inquiry officer, and within 48 hours the employee need to give the explanation. If it requires to extend, minimum 6 days extension has been given, subject to the condition that particular employee has provided some sufficient reason for the extension. Now charge sheet and inquiry, whenever we are talking about how does the further investigation goes, okay, if the workman admits the charges against him, okay, if the workman, okay, admit that he has committed some sort of misconduct, so no inquiry need to be held and it shall be open to the manager to award the punishment. If the employee has been agreed that he has made any sort of misconduct, okay, there is no necessary to conduct the domestic inquiry. Here the manager will decide the award as a punishment over there. So there is no necessity of conducting the domestic inquiry once the employee agrees, okay, that he has made any sort of misconduct. If the workman does not submit the written explanation and or explanation submitted by him are not found satisfactory, okay, or the employee has been not reported to that particular charge sheet, okay, or he is denying that particular charges, okay, whatever charges has been alleged on that particular employee. So in that case, okay, the inquiry committee has been decided and domestic inquiry need to be conducted. The workman concerned in the inquiry shall sign at the end of each statement recorded in his presence. Such workman may be assisted by another workman, okay, of his choice, but he must be working in the company, okay. Particularly whenever some domestic inquiries are conducted, so whatever form of statement has been uh, means communicated by that particular employee, okay, it should be signed by that particular workman also, and it should be also signed or assisted by that particular another workman, those who are belonging to that the same company. The inquiry may be conducted either by the manager or any officer or person appointed by him for the purpose. So it depends on the individual employee also, okay, or the manager, okay, or whoever is the officer of that particular person who is conducting the inquiry, okay, that inquiry officer will be decided. The manager shall appoint an inquiry officer or management representative for the purpose of conducting the domestic inquiry. The manager has a complete right to appoint any inquiry officer or any management representative, okay, those who can conduct that domestic inquiries further. Copy of the charge sheet along with the relevant document should be handed over to the inquiry officer. Now once whatever form of investigation goes, whatever document has been prepared, okay, that document has been prepared along with the copy of the charge sheet, and that document and charge sheet will be submitted to the inquiry officer so as to take the further decision, okay. So now once the inquiry officer has been identified that if the offense or that misconduct has been serious misconduct, okay, then and then the employee is liable to be dismissed, okay, or they will be suspended. Now notice of inquiry, okay. Now once the process has been initiated, okay, for which the notice with respect to inquiry which should be sent to the employee, particularly the delinquent employee who has committed any sort of serious misconduct. So related notices which will be also submitted to the management of the organization, so that along with some necessary document and other charges which has been applicable to that particular employee. So that notices will be conveyed to the individual employee, the management of the organization, as well as along with some evidences and proof, okay, against that particular workman, and its report has been submitted to the management and as well as the inquiry officer. Now what is called as a disciplinary action? Now any sort of misconduct which has been committed by that individual employee, okay, so first of all the domestic inquiries has been conducted, okay, and finally the disciplinary action against which that particular employee can be conducted, okay, so that finally either the employee can be suspended or they will be retrenched from the organization permanently, okay, and could not be taken back on the job, okay, or they will be suspended even also. So the elementary principle of natural justice, that no man should be condemned or punished without being given an opportunity to explain the circumstances obtaining against him. So whoever has committed any sort of comments, any sort of misconduct or any sort of indiscipline, they are having a right according to the our natural justice. Okay, they can make a sufficient explanation within a stipulated period of time, okay, before the inquiry officer. When any sort of misconduct or indiscipline happens, okay, or when any act of omissions or commissions of an employee involving a conduct which is not conducive to the policies of the employer. Now we were already familiar with the standing order as well as various policies of the organization. If the employee are not following these rules and regulations, standing order, okay, the contractual agreement, okay, and whatever form of policies of the employer, okay, in that case it should be a breach of contract, or can be even also considered as a sort of misconduct, maybe insubordination or disobeying, okay, or there will be a quarrel or some sort of offense, some legal offense would be there, okay. That delinquent employee is, or they are liable to take some disciplinary actions against them, okay, with certain appropriate procedure. So there is a procedure to conduct that disciplinary action, okay. That action should be taken in the form of suspension and dismissal. So this is a very simple step to conduct the disciplinary action against that particular employee. First of all, the domestic inquiry has been conducted, okay, by the inquiry officer, and the decision would be get communicated to that particular delinquent employee. So issue of letter of the charge to the employee calling upon him to submit the explanation, okay. At first instance, if anybody has committed any sort of misconduct, okay, the letter has been issued or notice has been issued to them. We can consider also its explanation also, okay. Here the delinquent employee can explain whatever the form of misconduct that he has been communicated, okay, whether willfully or not. Giving a notice of inquiry into the charge if the explanation is not found satisfactory. If the explanation given by that particular employee, okay, is not sufficient enough to with respect to whatever form of misconduct he has been communicated, okay, its notice with respect to inquiry has been communicated to that particular employee. Holding a full-fledged inquiry, giving all the facilities to the employee for being heard. So here the inquiry committee will be decided, okay, and the employee will be called upon to heard the proceedings with respect to that particular inquiry. Recording of the findings of the inquiry officer, okay. Here the inquiry officer will record the complete proceedings over there, and they will identify the whatever the form of findings has been identified with respect to that form of misconduct which has been committed by that particular employee. Consideration of the inquiry proceedings and the findings of the authorities empowered to take decision and make a final order of punishment. Now once it has been investigated by that inquiry officer, okay, the final committee will be decide, okay, or by means of whatever form of proceedings and findings has been identified by the respective authorities, okay, that respective authorities are empowered to take some further decisions in the form of punishment. So the order of punishment has been prepared, okay, and that should be in the form of dismissal of that particular employee, or suspension of that particular employee, those who have been delinquent employee who has committed any misconduct over there. And informing finally that we are going to inform that particular employee, okay, those who have been punished, okay, and to be awarded to take some action against him, okay, in the form of dismissal and or suspension, okay, from the job. So in this way, okay, the disciplinary action would be taken, okay, against that delinquent employee who has committed, okay, the misconduct or indiscipline, particularly major misconduct. So that's all for our today's session. Thank you very much.